Thank you, Lisa, for your presentation. So I would like to ask the audience to see if you have any questions that you would like to ask directly to the speakers. If not, we have some questions in the chat that we can ask. But I just wanted to open the floor to anyone who would like to ask directly. Okay, so if not, I have this question from the audience connected to the land and also Go Farm graduate, right? So the question is, how many lots are available through Department of Agriculture on different islands? Over 400 have graduated from Go Farm. Alyssa just mentioned here now 550 so far. And many of them have difficulty securing land with water and fair land tenures. So if, Brian or Alisa would like to address the questions.
I can give you the state availability of all the lots that we have. We have very few vacancies. Fortunately and unfortunately, I guess it depends on how you look at it. Currently, we have about 14 vacancies in the Ag Park program and about 15 in the non-Ag Park program. I guess it's unfortunate that we don't have more land. There's just so much competition, I guess, or so much desire for the ag lands, and that's where we are. There are, I can only speak for what's available within the Department of Agriculture. A lot of the Department of Land and Natural Resources lands, agricultural lands, have been transferred to us. We're currently working on additional pasture lands and open to others. But I guess some of the other opportunities may be private, but I do agree that it's very difficult to get land a lot of times, especially if you're a new farmer and you're looking.
Thank you, Brian. Anyone would like to, other speaker would like to add? If not, we have this a question from Eva. She asked to provide example of land costs on agriculture parks.
Yes, that's me again. So the rates vary because some of, the leases go for so long. The rates vary from the initial appraisal through the end of your lease. Typically, I would say a median price right now per acre would be somewhere around $400 in the ag park. So that would be per acre per year. So if you had a 5-acre lot, it would be like $2,000 for the year. So again, it's kind of one of the reasons that the state lands are so popular is because they really, really are very, very, very affordable. And people tend to try and hold on to them by working them as much as they can. So that's kind of how it is.
Thank you, Brian. Another question is for Cherise. How much of the food brought home is a percentage of the total family food budget?
So I know Uncle Mark asked this. Was this for like how much percent of the food was like coming or like going to the families? Is that what you're trying to say, Uncle?
Well, my question here, I think all farmers have to deal with this and maybe this is something that's unmeasured, but I think when you're producing your own food, there's a social value to that. But I think from a real standpoint, how much of that really is making a difference in the nutrition of the household because they're eating their own food. And then I would carry that further down into the landscapes, the home landscapes of individuals. I mean, and I'm kind of dismayed that we're not seeing as many home gardens as I thought we should see in our communities. And I think that's a nice matrix that we could be measuring if people are producing their own food on their own properties. And I just don't think we have the data for that. And I that's the stuff I'm kind of digging for. I'm looking for that.
Yeah, that's a really good question. You know, because in terms of like what the like for us, like when people are taking home food, so like our staff, a part of their benefits is to get a one of our CSA boxes to go home. And for some of them, it's probably almost all of their veggies, percentage that they need to buy because they're trying to use our food versus going to the store and buying food, or maybe some of them have gardens, but not all of them do. Like in terms of the interns, so for the for staff, for some of these guys, it might be maybe a 1/4% or 25% of like what they're trying to eat throughout the whole week. For interns, they whatever we have left over in the processing, they're more than welcome to take. And that's the hard process to try and get them to do, is like take home food, right? Especially as an 18-year-old, sometimes they don't eat their vegetables.
Yeah, see, that's what we're hitting on, and I think that's the cultural aspect of it. Is the food, like you're a believer, but good food comes from the yard. But I think for the average person in our society, food comes from the store, or food
Mhm.
comes from McDonald's, and that's the cultural aspect that's going on here. And then is there enough nutrition in the stuff that they bring from the yard? But I think your point's well done, Cherise, that's when people see value in the food that they produce and they take it home, that's a win.
Right.
But I think we got a long ways to go on this
Yeah,
point.
definitely a long ways to go, but that's the start, is getting more people, you know, introduced that food comes from the ground and not from the store. And that's how far away from food we've gone as